Hey lovey-doveys, it's Holly with the Center. So I got to go back to Grace Christian Academy yesterday again, talking to teenagers. And this time I talked to them about their brains. Yeah, I had to do research and dig into the adolescent brain. It was a scary place. But I learned so much. And it's really good for me because, Mallory's 9 years old. She's going into the preteen time and I am feeling it. I am feeling a difference in her. So it was great for me to dig into the brain, and even more than I know a lot about kid brains, and I'm learning more about adult brains, but there's a whole gap of a section of our life, our people, that we're forgetting about, the adolescent brain. So what I learned about adolescent brains is that they're going through a phase of pruning. Okay, so as a child, they ask tons and tons of questions. Why? Why is the sky blue? Why is the grass green? Why? Why? And they're just soaking in all the information they can. They're just little sponges, But then, as they become teenagers, preteen age, they're starting to wean out those little things that maybe they don't need anymore. Do they really need to know every LOL doll's name and every character of Frozen? Maybe not. Maybe they're starting to kind of suppress some of those memories and think, well, that's not so important to me anymore. I'm going to focus on this passion. Okay, so that teen brain is starting to really hone in on what they love and what they're excited about and what gets them, out of bed in the mornings, their passion. So I was sharing that with the kiddos yesterday at Grace Christian, and I showed them the video from Inside Out. Whenever the little people are sucking up the memories that aren't important anymore. Phone numbers, don't need that. They're stored in our phone now. Do they really need every character of blah, blah, blah? And Joy saying, no, we need all those memories. They're beautiful memories. And the people that are sucking up all the things, they said, hey, this is our job. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? It goes into the dump of the brain. I love the Inside Out movie. I think it just makes me laugh so much. But that's the same with our brains. If we don't use the knowledge that we have, we'll lose it. Our brain just thinks, that's not important. Get rid of it. Brain dump. We've got to focus on things that we love. So maybe you may remember, if you're my age, you may remember NSYNC, or you may know every word to every TLC song. And that's because our brains in our adolescent time period was so focused on the pleasure sensors. Okay, so we felt emotions deeply. When we were going through things in our adolescent time and our teen time, we remember them so vividly because it was where our brain was developing. All right, did you know that brain is not fully developed until 25, 26 years old? Those executive functioning skills aren't fully developed until 26 years old. Oh, goodness gracious. So as a kid, we're soaking up everything we can. Teenager, we're pruning out. We're trying to figure out, do I really need to keep all that information? I want to focus on finding myself. Yeah? And as adults, we're still learning about ourselves and still figuring out, hey, I don't want to say to myself, this is just the way I am. Okay? Because you have the power to choose. I have done extreme work on myself, on my keeping me sane and not flipping my lid, because when we're talking about the brain, when we have our brain intact, we can make good choices. Okay, but whenever we start to flip our lid and it goes offline, smart parts up here and our human parts down here, they can't talk to each other. Okay, our wise owl leaves the barn and he can't help the barking dog make good choices. So anyway, that's a little bit of what I learned about the brain, digging into the teenage brain. And those kiddos, I tell you what, they're pretty impressive at Grace Christian. And I asked them, I said, hey, listen, so I do a lot of I love you rituals to reconnect neurons in the brain with kids and parents with their kids. How can teenagers build relationships? So they're on that. That's their assignment. And when I go back to see them next week, hopefully they'll be able to help me, because I don't know. I don't know what helps teenagers. Can they build relationships through the phone? I don't know. Or would it be better to be in face-to-face with someone? So that's where I'm left off. And if you have a teenager, ask them, how do you feel love? How do you refill your vessel and feel appreciated and loved? And those I love you rituals, Remember that I love you ritual. You got to have eye contact, presence, touch, and it's got to be playful. All right, friends. I hope that was helpful for you, understanding the teenage brain and how the brain works. Because remember, you have the power to choose. Make it a great day, you guys.